Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, it's a beautiful day up here in the northwest today, and for some reason I've chosen the only car in my fleet without air conditioning. Actually, that's not strictly true. My 02 Range Rover doesn't have air conditioning. Well, it does, but you know, it doesn't really. It is rather warm in here. There we go. Good old-fashioned air conditioning. You can't beat it. Anyway, today I've got quite an exciting one for you because we're off to go and pick up a cheap BMW 5 Series that I bought for just £500. 500 quid. A monkey, if you're a Cockney. I love this sort of thing. I haven't actually seen it yet, I should point out, but based on the description, it sounds alright. Let me close this window, there's too much noise. I'll just have to sweat. And my brother picked this up yesterday for me from a main dealer. It came in part exchange there. So like I say, I haven't actually seen it, but when I asked him what it was like, he said, yeah, it's alright. Now, he isn't a man of many words, to be fair, but at least it wasn't anything negative. It wasn't a scathing review of it. He didn't say, what have you made me pick this up for? And he would have done. Trust me, he would have done. So I'm feeling weirdly optimistic today. I don't know whether it's just the good weather or what, but I do feel like I've got a spring in my step. Which is good actually, because for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've been utterly miserable. Anyway, that's all water under the bridge now. So let's go and have a look at this 5 Series. I don't know an awful lot about it, but here's what I do know. I know it's a late 2003 53. I know it's blue, so I'm guessing it's topaz blue, the same colour as my first X5, X840 DYB, in case you're wondering. I think it's an SE model, because I think the early ones were. What else do I know about it? Oh, it's done around 90,000 miles, so it isn't particularly high. It's a 520i. Now here's the thing, maybe you could educate me on this. I think, or I'm hoping, the early 520i's used a 6-cylinder engine. I think they used that old M54 engine, which is quite a good little 6-cylinder. I just hope it's not a 4-cylinder. 4-cylinder BM, well, 4-cylinder anything, they're always a bit wet, aren't they? A bit bland. You can't beat a big old 6. This, of course, is the first of that newer shape 5 Series, so this is the E60, not the E39. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with it yet either. I always try and think of a reason to keep these. I can't have another car for the dog. I've already got twice as many dog cars as I do dogs, so that's out of the equation. Well, I don't know. I'll think of something. Come on, you can do it. This old pre-facelift 1.9 non-turbo diesel Berlingo doesn't really do well with hills. That's my foot completely to the board. Hopefully this old 5 Series is a little quicker. Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? I'll see you there. Well, we're here. That isn't topaz blue at all, that's mystic blue. Don't act surprised that I know these things. Mystic blue metallic, that is. It's an SE, which always looked a bit boring, but that's a lot of car for 500 quid. Paintwork isn't the best. The front bumper's had a few kisses with a tall curb. It's crying out for some reg plates. These are all things I can fix. Does need a good clean actually. In fact, a very good clean, that's minging. But it's got the nice Dakota beige leather interior. I love this era of BM, as I've mentioned many times. It's missing some of its, what do you call it, like grille things from the front valance. I'll have to have a look on eBay. We've got headlamp washers, but no xenons. That's all right, that, you know. I'm quite impressed so far. Right, as always then, let's find out a little bit more about it using Car Vertical. May as well knock my engine off, because it sounds like an old canal boat. So all you do here is go to carvertical.com, type in the reg or the VIN. Let me get some fresh air in here. I'm melting, it's like being in a greenhouse. So in this case it is Romeo Golf 553 Charlie Papa Zulu. Excuse the noise there, we're right on the flight path. Ah, A380. I'm not going to bore you with that, that's the A380 going to Dubai. Same time every day. I've been on that once. Fun fact. Now this will tell us a bit more about the car, so it'll tell us if it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It isn't that expensive, and you can save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK, all one word, for 20% off. Or alternatively, click the link below in the video description. So right now this is checking databases in 35 different countries, and it checks hundreds of millions of cars. This isn't just a UK thing, so if it's had a bump in Belgium, or a smash in Slovakia, this will tell us. And just like that, the report's ready. Are you ready for this? View report. So it's never been clocked, that's a good sign. No, it's done in finance, and there's no recorded damage. Perfect. It's never been stolen, At its last MOT, it had done 88,000 miles, and that was in January. It's only a few months ago. And it's done about 2,000 miles a year. That's good going. It's a 520i petrol automatic from 2003. It's had a few reg plates. Let's check the last MOT then, shall we? It changed owner, inspection. It failed on a few things, then passed. Then changed owner again in 19, then failed, then passed, then failed. Right. Well, it failed in January on brake pipe leaking, brake pipe excessively corroded, and then brake fluid below minimum. So that obviously needed to be rectified before it passed its MOT, and then it passed with no advisory items. Which is a bit of a result, isn't it, that? For an old girl like that. Shall we go and have a look at my Mystic Blue 520i then? Try and work out whether it's the M54 engine or not. Well, the first bit of good news is that we've got 2 keys, and that one looks like it's never been used. With the old diamond style BMW key, which I really like actually. It's a bit strange that I've got such a strong opinion of key shaped designs, but there we go. My top spec Berlingo's reminded me I've left my keys in my ignition. So, it's not in bad shape really, is it, that? Looks alright. There's a bit of scuff down this rear bumper there, but that will buff out. It isn't deep. It won't buff out completely, but I could improve that. Got a little buffing wheel on it. What about tyres then? We've got a Blue Earth GT. Oh, it's a Yokohama. I was just about to ridicule it for being an unknown brand, but I shan't. Well, it's quite straight on the panels, isn't it? Quite tidy on the sills. There's lots of moss and algae and stuff around the windows. Nothing that a good old jet wash can't sort out. Got what looks like some sort of hair scrunchie there, but I don't think it is. The rubber seals there sort of started to perish. It's in quite good shape though, this, isn't it? Have we got another Blue Earth? We do actually. Another Blue Earth on about 5 mil of... This is a decent car, you know. 500 quid. Who'd have thought it? So this is that piece of trim that I was telling you about. It should have one of those, like a fog lamp surround thing, but it's missing. Also the fog lamps are I've let water in. What I should do, you know, is order some aerosol paint in the same colour code and just blow this bottom bit in, just to take your eye off it. Order some new plates, give it a clean. Got a little bit of lacquer peel here, haven't we? But I'm not painting a bonnet on a 21-year-old BM. I'm quite pleased with this. Don't tell me we've got another... We do. We've got another Blue Earth on about 5 mil. This hasn't had a clean for a good number of years. Got all the brake dust. But on the bright side, I mean, although the wheels are a little bit rough, aren't they? I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just giving you a narration. The brake discs look okay. A few scratches down this side, but nothing deep, nothing that wouldn't buff out. We've got a full house, a full set of Blue Earths by Yokohama. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. What about up here then? Roof isn't dented. No sunroof though. Well, the rear plate's all right, but I'll put a matching set on, obviously. We're missing a reflector. See how it should have that like red reflector there, and there does not have one. So I need to order one of those. Again, I'll have to have a look on eBay. Busy day at Manchester Airport today. Right. Let's have a look inside then, shall we? Right, well, one key doesn't work. Nothing's happening. These actually take a charge, I think, while they're in the ignition. So, we'll see. We're in business. So we've got part electric, part manual seats. A nice beige leather interior. It smells of BMW, if you know what I mean. It's just got that early 2000s BMW smell. Got auto lights. 4 electric windows. This is a nice car, you know. I like it. Got an armrest. With cup holders, I think. No. Oh yeah, cup holders, look at that. That's very sort of L322-esque, isn't it, that? We've even got a little ski hatch. Look at this. No, I think I've broken it. We'll leave that down. Pretend it was like that already. And the boot pops up, look at that. With vigour. Right, well, we've got a book pack here. So it's a 520i SE Auto. Blue petrol gas with the VIN. That was the supplying dealer. We've got the engine number, but I still don't know whether it's the 5-cylinder or not. 6-cylinder, sorry. I suppose we could have a look under the bonnet, couldn't we? Rather than beating around the bush. Just needs a good old clean, this. Pop the bonnet then. Now this 6-cylinder engine, if it's the 6-cylinder, will be quite a big lump. There we go. That is the 6-cylinder. This is a result, you know. Those struts aren't the best, to be honest. They're doing the job, but for how much longer, I don't know. So we've got the big old 6-cylinder. What a result. See that? This is why I earn the big bucks. Right, what can I tell you then? We've got heated seats. This isn't a bad spec. So we've got heated seats down here. We've got parking sensors. It's automatic, that's good. Air conditioning, that probably won't work. We've got cruise control though. We've got some pop-out cup holders, which I always get quite excited about. You ready? You ready for this? Oh. Turn that off. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit shy at first. Yeah, and that one just doesn't want to play at all. Right. Service history then. We've got a service book here. It's an E60 520i from October 2003. Very good. Well, we've got some stamps here. So the supplying dealer was down in Hampshire. Oh, look at this. Holland Park BMW. In 05. At 11. This must have been owned by somebody with a few quid then, mustn't it? If they took it to Holland Park BMW. Holland Park, by the way, if you don't know, is like a really wealthy part of London. It's where loads of celebrities and rich people live. So then it had a service then at BMW, then Barlaston, Stoke-on-Trent. Okay, very good. Newcastle, yep, Stoke ST. And then another one, Ramsbottom, Stirling Bridge. This is good history, you know. Very good. When was the last one then? Last one was at 88. It doesn't give a date. What's the mileage now? Hang on. It says it's due a service in 6,000 miles. 88,613. We've got a parking sensor fault. Right, let me just cover up the guy's name and address here. For data protection reasons. So in 2022, he ordered a brand new key, which was £180. That's actually cheaper than I was expecting. It is the M54, I can see it there. M54 2.2 petrol. You know what as well? I don't want to get too excited, but my air conditioning's working. I'm currently getting some nice cool air blown at me, which I really wasn't expecting. I'm quite pleased with this purchase for a change. Normally I'm in this car park, aren't I, sweating in some horrible doggy car that stinks. And on this occasion, I think I'll swim the channel. All fluke, obviously. It isn't ability, it's just fluke. Steering's all right. And apart from the parking sensor fault, we've got no other warning lights on, which for a BMW sounds silky, doesn't it? You really can't beat a 6-cylinder engine from BM. Obviously this would have been nicer had it been a big 530 or something, but still, it's a 6-cylinder. So, can't complain. And that air conditioning is ice cold. We've got the small screen, I've just realised, which isn't a problem. Got a line running through it as well. Listening to radio too, so we sort of know the age of the man, don't we? sensible chap, goes to BM for a spare key, gets his air conditioning recharged. It's always been owned by the sort of person that if he were your neighbour, he'd take your bins out while you're on holiday. Stand-up sort of person. Anyway, I'm talking nonsense. Should we take this for a drive? See how it performs? Make sure it pulls well and it doesn't miss, or, you know, well, it's not hunting or anything, it's idling very smoothly. Let's take it for a run. In fact, hang on a second, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's check the windows. Okay, right. It was all going too well, wasn't it? My offside rear does not work, but the other three do. Like I'm in a Renault, isn't it, this? Does it work from the back? Hang on. No. That's weird. I can hear it clicking from the glove box down here. I can hear the relay clicking or something. How strange. Anyway, let's get this show on the road, see how it drives. Right, buckle up then. Let me just move my microphone. Seatbelt's a bit mouldy. Right, and we're away. This was a really good era for BMW, this. Hang fire there, barrier. Well, straight away it feels like, well, it feels just how it should. Steering's quite weighty. Engine's silky smooth. It's picking up nicely. Air conditioning's ice cold, I can't believe that. After running around in my Berlingo all morning, where I've been sweating, saying, you don't really need air conditioning, just wind down a window. It's so nice to have it, so nice. What can I tell you then? Well, the mileage is low, isn't it, for a 21-year-old car? It's half what it should be. It's rear-wheel drive. Gearbox, oh, hang on a minute. Oh no, that was all right. I think that was an operator error. Wasn't pressing the accelerator properly. I thought I'd lost a bit of power then for a second. What about my windscreen wash? There we go. This, I say this all the time, don't I? This is quite a decent thing. The only downside to this, of course, but you can't have everything, can you? The road tax will be quite high. It'll be $395 a year or something, won't it? And also, I imagine you'll be doing, well, let's find out, shall we? 22 miles per gallon? It won't be great on fuel, will it? It's quite a big, heavy car with a big engine and an auto box. But still, as a runaround, there are far worse options. Has he left me any CDs in? Nope. What am I going to do with this then? I don't really know. It's way too old to retail, isn't it? Although, having said that, I could run it down to my mechanics, get them to check it over and make sure it's all safe. You know, it doesn't need an MOT, does it? Because it's got one until January. It doesn't need servicing because it had one, I presume, in January as well. It was done 400 miles ago. So it doesn't need any mechanical prep. The tyres are all good. Someone's obviously looked after this. Not on a shoestring, which is a nice change. I think I'll just take it over to Tameside Valeting and get them to do a proper valet on it. I'll order the bit of trim from the front and I'll order a bit of trim for the back. Just make it look a bit tidier. I'll order some new plates. That's about it. It's got to be a £2,000 car, hasn't it, this? Without getting greedy. If I can spend maybe £250 on it, it'll owe me £750. It's a decent return here, you know. Pulls well. I do like BMs. Hang on a minute, broke my steering column. There we go. Don't know my own strength sometimes. What else can I tell you? Need to lubricate my cup holders. Got any treasure? Nope, no treasure. This is one of those cars that if I knew somebody that was just looking for a cheap runaround, this would be perfect. We've got an open road now, let's sting it. Oh yes. What's funny about this 2.2 litre 6-cylinder engine is that it sounds when you boot it like you're making good progress, and then you look at your speedometer and you're not really. It does sound nice though. Changes gear nicely as well, nice and smooth. You know, saying that, that's quite fast, especially for these little 30-mile-an-hour roads, 40, whatever it is. This is half a car. Okay then, let me head over to Tameside, drop this off with the lads, and I'll get back to you later. In fact, let me call and order my plates before I forget. Bear with me a second. Ah, my indicators work. It's unusual for a BMW, isn't it? What a beautiful day it is today. Let me call and order these plates then.
Harrods.
Hi, it's Matt at High Peak Autos. How you doing?
Hi, pal, you alright, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. Could I get a set of plates, please, pal?
Yeah, man.
Standard size, front and rear. Romeo Golf 53.
Romeo Golf 53.
Charlie Papa Zulu.
Charlie Papa Zulu. Standard front and rear.
That's
No
it.
worries, mate.
Perfect. Cheers, pal. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
See you. Bye-bye. One job done. Right, let me go and take this to the valeters and I'll have an update for you very soon. And we're back in the cheap BMW 520i and it's all prepared and now ready for sale. Apologies for my voice, by the way. I sound a bit like Ray Winston, don't I? I've got a cold or flu or something, I don't know. I feel terrible. Anyway, the show must go on. My throat feels terrible. Although on the bright side, if I could find a karaoke bar, I think I'd do a pretty good Macy Gray. This car's taken me a little bit longer than I'd liked, but that's sometimes the case. Everyone I use is always busy, mostly dealing with my problems for me. So sometimes cars and projects just drag on a little bit, but we got there in the end. And I think it now looks really good, to be honest. I mean, you've got to remember it's a 21-year-old car, but it does look particularly tidy. After we last spoke, I ran this down to my mechanic and asked them to replace the fog lamp surround, and the rear reflector, and also just check it over and just make sure it was all right. Now, before you say anything, I know what you're thinking. I could have probably sourced these parts myself on eBay or something a little bit cheaper, but I'm always busy. I don't have time. I did have a quick look on eBay one evening, and I couldn't really find what I was looking for, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'll just let my mechanic do it. If they order the wrong parts, then that's their problem, not mine. So that's what I did. As a result, my bill was a little bit larger than I'd hoped. I was hoping to get those three things done for about 100 quid, which, I don't know, in hindsight might have been a bit too optimistic. The reality though, sadly, was that my bill was 3 times the size of that. It was nearly £300, but still, it needed to be done, and I've had it done. From there, then I picked it up and took it down to Jimmy the magician. It needed a little bit of paint work. If you remember, the lower part of the front bumper, and I think the bumper corner was scuffed and scratched, so I've had that repainted. He's also given the car a thorough clean for me and a buff, and I think clay barred it, and touched in some spots of lacquer where it was peeling. Oh, my voice is terrible, sorry. And yeah, that was it. So I took it to the, I took it for a mini valet, a second mini valet, and got it all cleaned up, and now it's ready for sale. So I've currently got this advertised. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I've taken some photographs of it. I'm yet to advertise it. I don't know what to advertise it for. I'm thinking it's got to be worth 2495, 2995. I don't know. It's a lot of car, isn't it, for that sort of money? Bear in mind, it's only done 88,000 miles. Air conditioning works. It's quite pleasant to drive. What's it worth? Shall I be cheeky and ask 2995 of it? Why not? You can always ski downhill, can't you? Right then, boys and girls, shall we work out what I've spent on this £500 BMW? It was quite cheap, but I worry now that I've massively overspent. Saying that, if I can get 2.5 grand for it, there's still plenty of profit in it for me. Right, let me park up somewhere scenic then, somewhere nice, and I'll talk you through my costs. Well, I think we'll stick to my little trusty bin spot. Oh, you know, somebody sent me a message on Instagram the other day, a cyclist, or, you know, a cyclist. He was a push bike, wasn't a motorbike. He'd parked up his bike next to this bin and he said, oh look, I found the famous High Peak bin. Anyway, I never thought when I was a kid I'd make a Stockport Metropolitan Council bin famous, but there we go. Right, so I paid £500 for the car, so it was cheap. Let me get my calculator out. £500 for the car. I put £30 of fuel in it. It is quite a thirsty girl, this. £15 on a mini valet. I've had 2 of those. That's £30, £5.60. The bill at my mechanics then, this is where I kind of went wrong a little bit. Rear bumper reflector, £18.23. Dead fair that, isn't it? Very reasonable. Offside front grille, £31.76. Again, dead fair. A bit of labour, £50 to fit, yeah, fine. Offside front fog lamp, £141.18. I should have got a price check, really. Anyway, no point crying over spilt milk, is there? I don't want to sound dramatic, but I think this is the worst cold anyone's ever had. My grand total there was £289.40. 289.40. I was hoping to have this car completed for about £1,000, and we're already perilously close to that 4-digit figure. My bill at Jimmy's, once again, as always, was very fair. So he's repaired the near side front bumper corner and repaint. Wash, clay bar, buff, polish, wax, touch in and general clean. The total there, for for all this work to transfer, went scouse then, didn't I, for some reason, to transform this car was £225. So let's add that in, 225. My grand total then for this old BMW 520i is £1,074.40. So just over £1,000. It's not bad, is it, that? I'm quite pleased with that, really. Hang on, I've just had a message from my mechanic. Course already, that was easy. That's a result, wasn't it? So yeah, back to this. We're all done. I'm going to go and get it back to work now and sit down for 5 minutes and do my advert. And yeah, I think that's about it. I do love this era BM. I know I'm like a broken record because I keep saying that over and over and over again. But they're just nice and solid, well built. I'm in pain here, guys. I just need a strepsil and a hug in that order. Right, I just don't want to clout one of these dry stone walls. Let me get it back to work. What else is there to say? I think that's it. So thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'll leave the links below. Ha ha ha. There we go. It's just popped. See you later. Hopefully I've got my voice by next time and I don't sound like Barry White. Cheers, guys. Adios.